Came in, guys. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about the Emguerd today. Yeah, we're going to be going through the presentation, how to present, what are the facts, what is the information that you need. Sure, you can go ahead and record it to your computer if you want to. So before I do that, I need my slides, and I am not prepared. So sorry, guys. I need to open my slides to make sure that everything is okay. Let me double check real quick. Okay, perfect. Now, if you guys are ready, let's buckle in. Let's dive into why Emguerd is so important today. All right. So Emguerd has a slogan, a product slogan saying, change your environment, change your life. Now, why are we talking about environment? Because I've always been told, right, environment is key. Environment is so important for your productivity, it's so important for your health, it's so important also for your energy levels, right? But here's the thing, guys. We always talk about the people that we hang out with. We always talk about the comfort of our home. We always talk about the vicinity that we are working in. But there's something that we're not talking about. And that something, unfortunately, we don't sense it in any way. So what am I talking about? Well, you see, 30 years ago, life was quite simple. Yeah, you guys agree with me? Life was very simple. Kids would usually not spend time at home. They would go to playgrounds after school. They would play outdoors. But something has changed in the sense that children today, they rather stay at home, glued to their phones, to their computers, their laptops. And the interesting thing is not only children, us adults as well. Yeah, I've made it. I had to discipline myself to restrict my usage in terms of how many hours I use my devices every single day. But even while restricting myself, the number is still quite scarily high. Um, Let me share with you what my screen time hours is a day. It's almost 11 to 12 hours every single day when like compared with my phone and my laptop together. Yeah. And I'm sure some of you are probably close to that number as well, or significantly higher, maybe like 8 or even 9 hours every single day. Now, why is this? It is because technology is already part of our lives and we cannot avoid it. We have to use it to connect, we have to use it to work. So technology is very important in our daily life. And it will also be very important for our children's life in the future because they need to be technologically literate. That's the word I use. They need to understand how these things work so that they can find jobs in the future. But the problem is, with all of these devices now in our surroundings, in our environment, it's actually adding a new pollution. All right, and this pollution is called the electromagnetic radiation pollution. You may have heard of this name before, you may have heard of this thing before. It is definitely not new, all right? It's been a topic for many, many, many years because I remember as a kid, many, many years ago, my mom used to tell me that I should not use these devices for too long because it was bad for my health. But of course, back then, I was too young. I didn't understand why. But now, as we have progressed, more information has surfaced about this particular problem. And I'm sure that you guys are also aware of it. So just to clarify, this is an article from pubmed.com. Yeah, you can actually search this by yourself. Go to www.pubmed.com and search e-noise into the search engine on that website. Now, they define e-noise as a signal from electronic products and instruments that emit radiation and electromagnetic fields. And they further explain, if you read the sentence next to it, it includes not only the acoustic but non-acoustic noises. So this is a very interesting fact because some people, when they think of radiation, they think of it as some magical force. All right, some magical force that's somehow being emitted from our devices. But in actual fact, What PubMed is saying here is that these electromagnetic radiation signals or fields are actually sounds. They are in a form of a frequency wave. All right. And a lot of it is actually non-audible, so non-acoustic. Our ears are limited. There is a range of frequencies that we do not hear. All right. And we continue to read, guys, you will see that there is a lot of health problems, daily health problems that people are facing that is being included when people are being exposed to too much EMF radiation. Take a look. Fatigue, stress, irritability, headaches, insomnia. You have more serious things like hypertension, ischemic heart disease, stroke, brain, metabolic problems. Guys, the list goes on and on. All right. And this is something that you can find on PubMed.com. Probably one of the most reputable websites when it comes to medical things. Now, this is not new news. You know, you hear a lot of governments, news stations saying that men, we shouldn't put our phones in our front pockets because there have been studies relating that having the having the phone in our front pockets can affect the fertility of a male. All right, it can lower the sperm count. It can perhaps into some serious cases lead to infertility. Again, not new news, very old. 2019, surveys were already done. And what was this survey? This survey was basically asking the general population, hey, what are you facing? Like, what are your daily chronic problems that you have because you're being exposed to too much EMF radiation? And if you see from the top, sleep problems, fatigue, concentration, memory, or learning problems, stress and anxiety, headaches, and the list goes on and on. All right, and I'm sure some of you may have encountered some of these problems on a daily basis. For me, it was the sleep problems. I found myself, and type 3 if you have ever experienced this, I found myself using my computer for work too late in the night, and then when I try to go to sleep, I just can't fall asleep. You know, type 3, if you ever experienced this before, because I have experienced it many, many times. And the beautiful thing about it is that when I got my Emguerd, that problem disappeared. I no longer had any sleep problems, even though I was using my computer through the late night doing my work. Yeah, so that is one of the benefits of the Emguerd. It is capable of giving you better sleep. And I'll explain how later on. These are some of the devices, some of the electronic gadgets that in your house that are actually adding to the EMF radiation pollution problems. All right, so smartphones, television, extension cords, microwaves, even your air conditioner, guys, right? If you're living somewhere hot like Asia, I can't live without my aircon. If I don't sleep with my aircon on, I can't fall asleep. All right, it's too hot in Malaysia. So, but even the air conditioner is adding EMF radiation to the environment. So how does it look like? This, guys, by the way, is a depiction of how EMF radiation would look like, and it is officially from NASA. Yeah, you guys know that space research center in US, NASA. Yeah, so this is their picture of how EMF radiation would look like if we could see these frequency waves. Now, believe it or not, I would dare say if any of us could see frequency waves, we would not be living in our house right now. We will probably be somewhere in the jungle, somewhere in nature, because that's where there is no EMF radiation, right? But thank God we don't see these things, but we need to be very aware that they are present in our environment. Moving on with some facts, guys. I don't want to bore you with these things yet because these are just facts that you can research yourself. All right. World Health Organization, WHO for short, guys, they already classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Now, if you're wondering what carcinogenic means, it means cancer causing. Yeah. And they say that there's an increased risk for glioma, which is a type of brain cancer, and it's already associated with wireless phone use. Interesting is if you see when this press release was released, guys, it was 2011, 14 years ago, more than 14 years ago, 14 years and a couple of months. So what has this showed us is that we humans have not taken this problem seriously enough. Because from what I see, there are more devices being added to an environment. The number of cases of brain cancer globally has skyrocketed in over the last 10, 15 years. So this problem, based off what WHO has said, is a real threat, and we need to take it seriously. Yeah. Now, this is huge news. It was back in 2023. Some of you may have seen this. bbc.com or .co.uk, they reported that France, a whole country, has halted the sale of iPhone 12s because radiation levels were too high. Guess what Apple did? Apple, right, they released a clause in their products, and this is something that you can find if you have an iPhone, if you have a Mac, if you have an iPad, you can find this clause in your phone. Yeah, Apple say, if you want to reduce your exposure to RF energy from Apple's products, please use them at a hands-free option, such as the built-in speakerphone, headphones, or other similar accessories. So why did I show you the BBC News, and why did I show you what Apple did? All right, excuse me, my throat's a bit dry. Now, why did I show you this? Very simple. The government authority recognizes the problem. The manufacturers of the product acknowledges the problem. So the problem is real, guys. The issue is, do we recognize that the problem is real? And I'm sure every single body in this chat, you guys recognize the problem, because if you don't, you would not be in this call. All right, but it is our responsibility to share this awareness with our loved ones so that our loved ones are protected, and we need to show them facts, because at the end of the day, facts are indisputable. All right, so these are the facts, and these are things that we can use to showcase that this problem needs to be taken seriously. Over here, we have a doctor. His name is Dr. Satvinder Singh. All right, let's hear from Dr. Satvinder that if you have children at home, young ones, you definitely need an Emguerd, right? So let's hear from what he has to say.
The children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones, off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
Wow. He says that children are more susceptible to absorbing radiation into their bodies purely because their bodies have yet to fully develop. What did he say? The hypothalamus has what, 3 times more or 10 times more ability to absorb these radiation frequencies into their bodies. And this is a problem, all right? Because children, they're vulnerable. And we as parents, we need to make sure that our children are protected at all times. And he recommended a few solutions. Turn off your PowerPoints when not in use. Put your devices far away from you when you're not using them or you're sleeping. And he also recommended using something called an environment harmonizer. And that is exactly what the Emguerd is, all right? So over here, I have an Emguerd with me on my work desk, and I use it every single day to make sure that when I'm on my computer, I am protected, all right? Let's see a few messages in the chat. uh, iPhone D Nicola, can we receive the link for this video, please? You definitely can, all right? And this video is actually available on YouTube. So if you just go and Google Dr. Satvinder Emguerd, you may be able to find it. Another way you can find it as well is you can also find it in the Telegram group. If you go to the archives and the files, you'll be able to find this video. Yeah. Rebecca says, for me, it was pain in hands when working on iPhone. I also feel that, right? For some reason, when you're using your phone for too long, your fingers get a bit numb. Some people feel pain. Yeah, also had that problem before. Rebecca, is it complying to use an Emguerd picture for an ad? Please go ahead, right? So any of the Emguerd pictures that you see available, you have the right to market them. The only thing that you're not allowed to do is to make medical claims. All right, so no medical claims for your ads. Joy says it's a very old news. Exactly. It's so old, man. Like this problem has been talked about for so long. But the issue was back then, there wasn't a solution. There wasn't a real solution. A lot of people tried to offer solutions. Yeah. Like the stickers that you put on your phone, on your devices, they don't work, guys. All right. And I've also seen some, I don't want to say it works or not, but I've seen some people selling like glass bowls, glass balls that apparently can absorb these RF energy. Especially in our Chinese culture, we have a lot of feng shui things, all right? But I don't believe them because there is no science to back it. All right. But Emguerd, we have the science, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. So this is how Emguerd works, guys. This is visually how it works. If you have an Emguerd installed in your house, it looks like a big bubble, like a force field, all right? It covers about 4 meters in radius, 8 meters in diameter. If you're using feet, it's about 13 feet in radius and 26 feet in diameter. Now the Emguerd, and this is something that you can use, right? So somebody asks you, what is the Emguerd doing? You can say these words. Emguerd utilizes harmonics frequencies to effectively suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. Right? So this is the official description of what the Emguerd does. Lena says some people say crystals can absorb EMF radiation, but there was no test reports. Exactly. You know, I mean, I don't want to say it works or doesn't work, but for me personally, I don't see the science behind it. Yeah. Rebecca, Wi-Fi radiates higher than 1 gigahertz. How is Emguerd protecting for the device? Would love to understand. Very good question, because this would lead me to my next slide. All right, so Emguerd is suppressing between 3 to 1000 megahertz. Why not more? Two reasons why. Number one, it is illegal. All right, if you have an Emguerd or a device that can harmonize above 1 gigahertz, your house will not receive any signal from Wi-Fi, your phone call, 4G, 5G. You will be living in the dark. All right, so that's number one. Number two, it is unnecessary. Why do I say this? It is because based off the FCC's report, the Federal Communications Commission in the United States, they say that the human body absorbs RF energy at some frequencies more effectively than others. And the restrictive limits occur between the frequency range of 30 megahertz to 3000 megahertz. So what they are saying, to put it into simple words, Within 30 to 300 megahertz, our bodies are absorbing these RF energy like sponges. There's actually a graph. Excuse me. There's actually a graph. This graph is also reported by FCC. It's actually in their bulletin, but I can't seem to find it anymore. This graph shows that there is a natural defense for the body, all right? Below 3 megahertz, our defense against these frequency waves are very high. When you start going towards 30 megahertz to 300, that defense just becomes flat. Like there's no defense at all. And past 300 megahertz, our defense starts to go up. Our natural body's defense. All right. If I could find the thing, I would definitely add it to the slides, but I need to find that slide first. Yeah. So question is, why is our bodies so defenseless between 30 to 300? That is because our body organs are operating within that range. If you take a look here, this is also from the FCC. The brain is about 72 megahertz, right? 72 to 7 to 90. The human body is 62 to 78. The heart is 67 to 70. So our body organs are operating within this range. And that is the reason why our bodies are so affected within this range. All right? Because if you imagine, guys, there is all of these frequency waves around in our environment, and they are actually causing some sort of unnatural vibration or unnatural movement in our organs. Angela, is Enagic applying to get FDA approval in the US? From my knowledge, I can't give you an answer to that, but realistically, I don't think they need FDA approval because FDA is Food, Drugs, and whatever association. But what Emguerd has, if you look at the bottom of your Emguerd, it says SGS. All right, so SGS is the governing body that has certified the Emguerd for safe use for consumers. All right, so if you want to go and find out what SGS is, you can go to www.emguerd.com and you can scroll down and you can find the report over there. That is a question that I cannot answer you. I am a distributor as well. All right, these questions need to be asked to the Enagic office where the managers and the staff are. All right, so I wish I could give you an answer, but I can't. So over here, guys, very quickly, let me show you a very quick video. Because some people, they don't understand these frequency waves, right? So we need the help of certain tools and certain detectors to give us some sort of visual or some sort of experience. So over here, we have Simon, right, and David, and they are using one of the detectors that we're currently using for the business. It's called an SDR RTL. And this device is specially made for Android phones. Okay, so take a look what Simon has to show us.
This is called the SDR software, and it's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David is gonna do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple dollars, you get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, Ben. You can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So the software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna, and the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. We have not seen this anywhere else. Okay, so now what we want to find out is, if we have the Emguerd, what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now I'm going to put next to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on in 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum. It's gone down. I'm going to unplug the Emguerd.
Talk about this suppression.
All right. Take a look at the suppression, guys. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom, with the Emguerd turned on. If you guys are watching this, I want you guys to bring your Emguerd everywhere you go, especially in cities like this, and make sure you always keep yourself protected. See you guys soon.
Guys, so amazing that we have a detector that can turn all of these interference in our surroundings into something that we can experience. All right. Now, a very good question that was asked by Angela is the RD9300. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very straight answer. The RD9300 is a good detector that was presented as one of the first detectors in the market for us to do demos with. The reason why is discontinued is because the manufacturer of the detector went bankrupt. They stopped. All right. Because the RD is not made by Enagic. It's made by a third-party company that we found, which was capable of helping us to present the demo. Are you still allowed to use it for demo purposes? Yes. If you got your hands on an RD 9100 or the 9300, you can continue to use it. But you need to understand what it does. But right now we are moving towards this SDR RTL or the Baje, right? So some of you may have heard what the Baje is. It is exactly the same as this RTL thing. The only thing is that you don't need an Android phone. It is an all-in-one detector, right? But coming back to this video, you see that a lot of these frequency interference in our surroundings, they're actually very, very noisy. All right, they're very noisy. The device showed us that. And a lot of these frequency waves, we do not hear them. So to put it into perspective, right? If you're in a room and there's just this constant sound, this constant disruptive sound, you will probably get a headache. You will feel very uncomfortable. So whether the sound is audible or non-audible, the fact is that these frequency noises are in our surroundings and they are affecting us in some manner. But the only thing is that we cannot hear them. Ask yourself this question: why is it when I use my laptop for so long, I get a headache? Because your laptop is admitting these frequencies into our surroundings. Nancy, how can we get hold of this detector you just referred to now? Okay, good question. So the RTL SDR, I'm going to write it down for you. RTL SDR antenna. So that's the first one. You can buy it off eBay. If you're from America or Europe. If you're in Asia, you can buy it from Shopee or Lazada. The other one is called the Baje SDR detector. You can also buy this from eBay if you're from America, Europe. In South Africa, do you guys have eBay in South Africa? I'm not too sure. Yeah. What you could do is you can go into your Google search engine, type these names down, and most likely the Google will show you where to get them from. All right. But if there isn't, I'm not too sure how to get it to you except for shipping it from somewhere. All right. So at the moment, Malaysia, the Emguerd team in Malaysia has stock. Yeah.
This is called the SDR.
1 second. All right, moving forward. So over here, we have a very good study, right? This study is very important because, again, we talk about how Emguerd is able to protect us. And this is one of the biggest ones because it really shows how Emguerd is protecting us. So this is Dr. Magda's study, right? She's a Canadian researcher and professor. She spent a lot of time researching about how electromagnetic radiation, pollution, electrosmog, any of the words relate to the same thing. How does it affect our bodies, especially our red blood cells? So she says healthy red blood cell in a clean EMR environment, they look like this, where the red blood cells are kind of separated. They're quite fast moving if you take it live under the microscope. But if you expose these red blood cells to EMF radiation, either from your computer, your phone, or even the electronic appliances around your house, all right, what happens is that there is something called the Rouleaux formation, where your blood cells, red blood cells, start to stack on each other like coins. Now, she says when you have the Rouleaux formation in your blood, it leads to poor circulation, low oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headaches, and fatigue. Sound familiar? I have a very interesting story to tell you guys. My best friend, right? He's an accountant. He works 9 to 5. Actually, no, not 9 to 5, more like 9 to 9 or 9 to 10, right? He works really long hours and he's constantly in front of a computer. He goes to the office, he's in front of a computer. He comes back home, he's in front of a computer, all right? Auditor life. Now, for the past 5 years, he's my same age. I'm 31 this year. For the past 5 years, I've literally heard him complain about having headaches constantly every single day. So when the Emguerd came into the picture with Enagic, I was reminded of my best friend. I was like, hey, my best friend needs this. So what I did was I bought an Emguerd and I sacrificed a week of me not having an Emguerd and I gave my best friend the Emguerd. I said, hey, his name is Scott. Scott, take this, bring it to work, bring it home, plug it in when you're using your computer. Within 3 days, 2 to 3 days, I can't remember the fact. I think it was 3 days. Within 3 days, he called me and he's like, hey, Emguerd, get me an Emguerd. And I was shocked. I was happy, of course, but I was shocked. I was like, whoa, it worked that fast? And I told him, what did you feel different? He's told me when he had the Emguerd in the office and at home, that constant headaches that he would get every single day, gone. When he went home, he slept like a baby. And every single day when he woke up, he felt really, really refreshed and recharged. So that was my strategy. And this is my strategy. I have extra Emguards at home, which I lend out to people for about a week. And that, I mean, it's not 100%, right? But from that, I've already gotten a few sales just from using that strategy. There's a term for it. I don't know what the term is, but me and Simon, my sponsor, we've been doing that particular strategy. So if you have, Lina's like, I ordered a second Emguard. Exactly. Order a second Emguard. Use that Emguard as a way to basically help your friends. Just put it somewhere. If you have friends who are working offices or in front of computers for very long hours, just pass it to them and say, hey, can you try this out for a week? Let me know what you think. If it works, it works. All right. If they feel the difference, they feel the difference. But let me show you what that difference is. Okay, I have a video here that relates back to the Rouleaux formation and how Emguerd is able to solve that problem. Take a look, guys. This is Dr. Roland's video. This is a video that we shot in Malaysia, and it involves the red blood cells. All right, take a look, guys. It's super amazing.
So what we can do is, you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them you cannot see those loose cells. You can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Clumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
The thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So, is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Come.
With the environment harmonizer turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Okay, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser rule of formation.
Guys, after seeing this video, doesn't Emguerd have a huge market globally, everywhere? Isn't this something that we want to help people with, our loved ones with, to prevent them from having the Rulox formation in their bloodstreams? Guys, when I saw this for the first time, I was amazed. I was like, really? But what was the defining moment was my team in Malaysia here, Simon, they tried this test themselves. They actually bought a microscope and they brought it to Malaysia, and we actually did the blood test experiment for ourselves. And fortunately, within our group, we had someone who was a medical professional, all right? So it was a nurse, and she was doing the blood samples for us. And guess what? It was exactly the same. I literally saw my own blood get unruloxed, running the same experiment, and because of that, I was 100% sold. So what does this mean? It means that you need to do this test. So I'll give you a tip here. You see Dr. Roland? Dr. is actually one of my team members. All right. The person, one of my downlines, he was good friends with Dr. Roland. So what he did was he actually brought the Emguerd to Dr. Roland and asked Dr. Roland to do a blood test for him, using the Emguerd and without using the Emguerd. And when Dr. Roland saw the results, what do you think the doctor did? He bought an Emguerd. He was completely sold because it was the first time he saw anything like this. So if you have doctor friends, why not, right? Just go to them and say, hey, can you spare me a couple of, like an hour? Can you do this experiment with me? All right. So again, another strategy. And guess what? If you're able to bring, a doctor friend into this business with you, you have somebody who is, I would say, in some ways, reputable to talk about these things. All right. So I think,
So what we
oops, I think it's a no-brainer, guys. All right. We definitely don't want our blood to look like the one on the left, completely ruloxed. We definitely want our blood to look like the one on the right. Right? No left, right, yes. So Emguerd really is an amazing technology. We talk about the problem, we talk about how Emguerd solves this problem, and we also see how Emguerd is doing it, right? With the blood test and everything. So Emguerd, again, where can you use this device? Everywhere, guys. All right, you can use it in your home, your office, your living room, put it in your bedroom. If you travel long distances every single day via vehicle, you can put it into your car, right? You just plug it into the USB port. If you travel very often, I travel quite often as well. I just plug it into the plane, right? I carry it along. I plug it into the plane while I'm in the plane, and I bless the whole plane with Emguerd. And if you're wondering whether you will be stopped at the security check, I have never been stopped. My uplines have never been stopped. My team members have never been stopped. All right. So you can use it anywhere. It's very portable and very versatile. Change your environment, change your life. We are now living in 21st century in 2025. All right. The number of electronic gadgets in our lives, guys, is too many. All right. There's a statistics online. Apparently, there is about 8 billion something people in the world. Apparently, there is about 33 billion electronic devices on planet Earth. That's a pretty scary statistic. So every human to 4 electronic products. And they say in like 2040 or 2050, like that number would probably be 1 human being to 10 electronic products. So if all of these electronic products, I mean, like if right now, if I look at my room, right? I can already see like nine electronic products that are in my surrounding that is adding to this EMF radiation pollution problem. And I don't know about you, right? Where your living room right now, maybe if you can look around your room right now to see how many electronic products are there, you can almost assume that the number is more than 4. Definitely. All right. So we need to take this problem seriously. It is a growing problem. Fortunately, there's a lot of awareness about the problem, but there is no solution. The awareness on the solution is not very known yet, right? Which gives us a huge market, a huge opportunity. The only question is, are you willing to go and share Emguerd with the people around you? That's the only problem, right? Because when I go anywhere, I have my Emguerd, and if anybody asks me, I will share it to them. Like, for example, this is something that I do and my team members do. Let's say we go to a cafe. I meet some friends in a cafe and whatnot. I will bring my Emguerd. I'll plug it in and I'll put it right in the middle of the table. Don't you think that's a good conversation starter? Because your friends are going to be like, hey, what is that? And I'll be like, oh, it's actually a device that protects you from your EMF radiation from your phones and all the electronic products in your environment. And because of that, I've gotten a few sales. And I know a lot of people who do the same thing. All right. My good friend and sister from Cambodia, her name is Heng, 682-4. She does it everywhere she goes. She literally has a handbag and she has 2 to 3 power banks that charges, fully charged, and she walks around with the Emguerd every single where she goes. All right. So it's more of a lifestyle change. The only thing is that you're not changing anything by your lifestyle. You're just adding something in your environment to protect you. Just continue as normal, right? Change your environment, change your life. The retail price of an Emguerd globally is 1,480 US dollars. This is the global average globally. Yeah. Do note that some countries, the price may be different because of tax, because of import duties and whatnot have you. Yeah, so do note, but the global pricing is 1,480. Lien Lingard, I started taking it on the train. There's about 200 phones in there. Yeah. Can you imagine if you go to a shopping mall? Do you know how many electronic gadgets are actually around you? Not only that, imagine going to your office, right? Offices, crazy, man. Like you're talking about hundreds, maybe even 1,000, right? Using in the dental surgery. Amazing, right? So this is the Emguerd, guys. If you haven't already gotten your Emguerd, I urge you, consider getting one for you and your family. The great thing about the Emguerd is that its coverage is quite significant. People say it's 4 meters in radius. So the company says it's 4 meter in radius, but I have tested it to go a little bit further than that, up to 6 meters as well. All right. So pretty much if you can find a location that is central, that covers your bedrooms, your workroom, just put it there. Yeah. Some houses much bigger, you may need to require a few more Emguards, but that is the benefit of it, right? So I've always asked my team members this. When a family buys a Kangen machine, how many Kangen machines would a family normally buy? One, right? One for the kitchen. Then I asked them, how many Emguards would a family buy? And they will always give me the same answer. Oh, depends how big their house is. And that's exactly that. The average house needs about 2. Some houses bigger, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are able to sell more Emguards purely because the house is bigger. Right? So this offers us a huge opportunity. I see the Emguard market 10 times bigger than the Kangen market in terms of sale volume. And we can take advantage of this sale volume to uprank. Am I right? That's how I was able to push my rank up to become a 6A and a 6A2. That's how Simon was able to push his rank to a 6A2-4, purely because that he found it easy to sell multiple Emguards to each families. So keep that in mind, when you're talking to the next prospect, prepare them that they may need to buy more than one Emguard for their house. All right? Excuse me. So very quickly, guys, let me just go through the business. Some of you may not know or you're not familiar with the commissions or even how the system works. So let me just guide you through everything. This is Enagic. Enagic is a Japanese company and the headquarters is in Osaka. We have about 43 offices in 26 countries. So not a small company, guys. And Enagic is officially 51 years old. Next year, it will be 52. So we're not talking to some new company that popped up somewhere. We're talking about a global company with multiple offices around the world with a huge footprint globally. So this company is very reputable, right? Be proud that you represent such an amazing company. Enagic business is very simple. No monthly qualifications, no inventory or stocks, right? You don't have to buy huge amounts of Emguard, store it at home and try to figure out how to sell it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to take that risk. You only need to connect the customer to the office. Let them handle the transaction. You get commission. Simple as that. No annual renewal fee. Accumulative group sale. Excuse me. This means that the company keeps track of all the sales you've done in the past, and the more sales you have, your income actually gets higher and higher. All right, and I'll show you that in a bit. Global business, you can do this business anywhere in the world. All right, you're not limited to your country. I have team members in Thailand. I have team members in America. I have customers in Australia. I can sell this Emguard and Kangen machine anywhere. All right. Patented compensation plan. Now, this is important for a few reasons. Number one, this business plan, all right, we need to, if we want to do a business, we need to understand the money. So because it's patented, guys, it's not changing. How many times have you heard other companies changing their business plan every single year? And then distributors who join, they're like, huh, I'm confused. I thought last year was like this. How come this year is like this? It's very confusing, all right, for a lot of people. But in Enagic, our compensation plan is patented. It's not going to change. So the moment you recognize and understand how it works, that's it, right? And number two, it is patented because it is very, very financially stable. The company's plan is so stable that I can easily continue this business for the next 50 years of my life and know that the company will not go down. Isn't that something important to note as well from a company? Yeah. Enagic is so stable, their plan is already also stable. They are very financially secure. And that's a company that we want to partner up with. We don't want to partner with some new company, 1-2 years, they collapse. How many times has that already happened? We're talking about a 51-year-old company, guys. Yeah. Legacy income inherited. This is the passive residual income. When you hit certain ranks, leadership ranks in the company. Untapped market. Again, problem, very well known. Solution, not very well known. This offers us a huge opportunity. Now, types of commission in Enagic, plenty. All right, there's a lot. But I'm going to talk about 8A or 8 points commission. This is the biggest commission that we will encounter when we first start doing the business. Now, very simple. How do you become a distributor for Enagic? Just invest in one Emguerd. All right? Just invest in one Emguerd, you become a distributor for life. Now you can start marketing this to your friends, your family, share the value. They see the value, they invest, you get direct sales commission. But the interesting thing is the people who bought from you, they too can join the business. They too can refer their own friends and family, which will give you indirect sales commission. So the company is so generous, they're paying you direct and indirect sales commission, and they're calculating everything as your total group sale. All right? This is the 8A or 8 points commission. How it works is very simple. Oops, sorry, the value is 1480 here. Emguerd is 1480, all right? Enagic has already allocated a preset budget of 520 US dollar per sale for the distributors. This 520 US dollars is split into 8 equal parts. So imagine a pizza. This whole pizza is 520 US dollars, and every single slice is 65 US dollars. Right? So very simple. 520 divided to 8 equal parts, every part is 65. How many parts you take or how much commission you make depends on your rank. The first rank is 1A. That happens on your first and second direct sale. You will make 65, 65. Now, the next rank is 2A. This happens on your third direct sale. You get promoted to 2A, you start making 130 US dollars. 3A, for you to achieve 3A rank, you must first achieve 10 cumulative Emguerd group sales. Your next direct sale, the 11th sale, you become a 3A distributor and you're earning 195. 4A, 20 cumulative Emguerd group sales. Your next direct sale, you become 4A, 260. 5A, 50 cumulative Emguerd group sales. Your next direct sale, 325. 6A, 200 cumulative Emguerd group sales. Your next direct sale is a 6A rank. And now you're earning 390 US dollars for every Emguerd you sell. All right. So the interesting thing about this business, guys, is that there are no resets. What do I mean by that? You can work hard, achieve your 4A, 5A, 6A rank. All right. You made some good money. Maybe you want to take a break. You take a break, and hypothetically speaking, let's say you take a break for 2 years, a very long break. Now, in most companies out there, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get reset. You're going to go down all the way down to 0 again. No, not in Enagic. The moment you achieve any of the ranks in Enagic, you will hold that rank for the rest of your life. But of course, right, you can't just be having that rank and not doing anything. So there are some maintenance to be done. All right. If you're wondering what those maintenance are, you can speak to your leaders and find out more about those maintenance. All right. But these are the ranks. But here's the interesting thing. Even after 2 years, you are still a 6A. The moment you make another direct sale, you get 6A commission straight away. Yeah. So you will always maintain your rank. So these are all your direct sales. The direct sales commission based off your rank at that moment. Let's show you very quickly about your indirect sales. So everything in green is your commission, guys. Now you introduce to Tom. Tom is your first sale. You're 1A distributor now. You make 65. You introduce to Alex, right? You're still 1A distributor. You make 65. The moment you introduce to Rose, now you get promoted to 2A. And now you're earning 130 US dollars. Simple as that. First sale, 65, second sale, 65, third sale, 130. What happens now if Tom sells to Grace, it is an indirect sale to you. It's a direct sale to Tom. So Tom, of course, will earn his own commission, all right? But because Grace falls underneath of Tom, you will earn 65. So as any sale that comes under Tom or Alex, we call this in the organization your 1A overriding rate. So any sale underneath Tom or Alex, it is going to be 65 US dollars. But this also applies to, let's say, your 2A overriding names, Rose and Kim. Meaning if Kim were to sell 3 Emguerds, you will make 2A commissions on every of these indirect sales underneath Kim's organization. It's like opening new franchises. But for every franchise you open, you're going to get more and more commissions. This is what I mean by accumulative group sales, right? The more sales that you have, your future sales, your income is only going to get higher and higher. And that's important because in a business, we always want to grow. And Enagic allows us to, or not only grow in our rank, but also grow in our commissions, all right? So it's truly, truly amazing. It's very, very scalable. Now, if you look here, guys, we have 10 group sales. What happens next? You open your next direct lane. You get promoted to 3A. You sell to May, and you earn 195 US dollars. Now, what happens when May sells an Emguerd? You will earn 195 US dollars. You open a bigger franchise. Yeah. So over here, guys, I hope you understand the indirect sales. All right. Your commission doesn't get lower. It maintains the same with all the indirect sales underneath that line. But there is a limit. Because if you remember, Enagic only has 8 points of commission per sale. So how is that 8 points being paid? Let me show you. John, right? Let's take a look at John here at the bottom right. John sells his first unit to Don. It is John's first sale. He will make 65, right? Or 1 point. He will take 1 pizza. The next person that gets paid is Bob, because Bob is the one that introduced John into the business. But John falls underneath Bob's third direct sale, right? Joe, Jack, John. So Bob will take 2 points, like you selling to Rose. Next person is Ani, 2 points as well. Kim, 2 points as well. Meaning, if company only has 8 points of commission, they've already paid out 7. That leaves you with 1 point. So instead of 130, it is 65. Same thing with John's second direct sale. But when John makes his third direct sale, now things changes because he makes 2 points now. Bob 2 points, Ani 2 points, him 2 points. All 8 points have been paid out. And this will result in a non-8A sale. A non-8A sale does not count as a group sale for your rank advancement purposes, and you will not receive any 8 points commission from this sale from John to Dan. Right? Some people will be like, oh no, I'm not earning commission anymore. But if you think about it, guys, all right, for you to receive that 1-0, you need to earn all of these commissions first. So in a matter of fact, you want more zeros because you're making money. And second thing, your team is growing. Your team is growing and your team is also making commission. So it's a win-win situation for you and for your team members, right? Because why? Why is it important for your team to grow? Because after certain group sale counts, you can start introducing people underneath a higher overriding lane. 4A, Tony, you earn 260. Every time Tony sells an Emguerd underneath your team, you make 260. 5A, 50 group sales, Simon, 325. 6A, after 200 group sales, Sam, 390 US dollars. So I hope you guys have gotten much more clarity from seeing this. I hope you guys understand now how commissions are being paid. What is the limit? 8 points from the bottom to top. But if you think about it, unlimited from left to right. You can go really wide in this business. The more people you bring into the business to do the business with you, the higher chance you're going to be very successful in this business. All right? So this is the 8 points commission. It is very scalable. It's very profitable. Is it easy? No. It is not an easy business because nothing is easy. But is it worthwhile your time? 100%, right? Because if you think back about it, what was your investment to have the potential to earn this type of commissions? What was your initial investment? 1 Emguerd at a price of 1,480 US dollars. Guys, where are you going to find a business opportunity like this? And the best part is that even when you have started with an Emguerd account, are you allowed to sell Kangen machines and other things? Obviously, yeah. And obviously as well, your commission is going to be higher because you're selling Kangen machines, because the values are higher. So what does this mean? It means that you can introduce this business to somebody at a much lower entry cost. You guys seeing what I'm seeing right now? There's a huge opportunity to start bringing people into this business. Let's face it, it's much easier to bring up 1,500 US dollars compared to 4,000, 5,000 US dollars for a Kangen machine, right? Which one is easier? Emguerd. And on top of that, Emguerd is such an amazing value to add into people's lives. Let them start with Emguerd, let them make some money. They can buy Kangen machine later when they have made some money. Yeah? So that is the 8 points. Over here very quickly, this is the career path. All right, I'm not going to get too much into it, but 6A is not the end. You know, after 6A, you have 6A2. What this means is that 2 of your leaders underneath your organizations, whether they're direct or indirect, there are 2 6As, but they must be on 2 separate lines. Yeah, you become 6A2, and guess what? There is a title bonus, 6,000 US dollars. 6A2-2, your 2 leaders will eventually become 6A2 each, right? You become -2, 12,000 US dollar, 1 title bonus. This is extra cash, guys, extra bonus for us because we have achieved these ranks. 6A2-3, when your 2 leaders underneath you, they become -2. You become -3, and this is where it gets fun. 25,000 US dollar one-time bonus, okay. But every single month for the rest of your life, you're going to receive 5,000 US dollar monthly plus other incentive calculation minus performance requirements. So imagine this, guys. You built this business to a -3 account. Every month, Enagic's going to reward you 5,000 US dollars. Wow. How secure would you be financially if you know that that 5,000 is going to come into your bank account every single month? And if you ask some of the big leaders, guys, even at -3, the other incentive calculations, you're not going to get 5,000. You're going to get much more than that. Yeah, I've seen some myself, and it's crazy money. So this is the business opportunity available. This is the career path, all right? As distributors for Enagic, we need to first understand what the product does, what value it brings. And on top of that, we need to understand how we can help the people that we bring in also achieve financial abundance. We need to show the business. So if you are showing a demo without the business, guys, you're doing it wrong. Don't do that. That's the first mistake I made. I'm young, right? I started this business when I was 26, 25. When I did a demo, I had no confidence in showing the business. What did a 25, 26-year-old know about business anyway? But when I started changing, when I started shifting my strategy, show the business every single time. When your prospect hears about the business, a few things come to mind. Hey, if I buy this, I could get my investment back by referring some of my friends. This product, my friends will love it. I should introduce it to them. Number two, they can join the business. All right, so don't leave out the business, guys. Very important. This is something that Simon has always told me, and I always tell my team members, never, ever do a demo without the business involved. Yeah? If you think about it, we have two products now, guys. The Emguerd and the Emguerd business. Two products to introduce to people. Yeah? Super crazy. Okay. Now, before I start answering the questions, guys, I just want to quickly just run through this. This is just for your knowledge, all right? India, you just launched Emguerd in India. Congratulations, India. You can now start buying your Emguerds and bringing it into India from Malaysia, all right? Personal import sales from Malaysia. There's a special promotion that's happening right now for the Indian distributors. You don't pay the full price of 6,620 ringgit, sorry, 6,620 ringgit. You are paying 5,200 ringgit plus shipping and custom duties. Now, why did Enagic do this? Because Enagic understands that when you bring an Emguerd into India, there are going to be taxes and custom duties they're going to pay. And this is to be paid by the people that's bringing into India, right? Your customers and distributors. So what Enagic did was that they purposely lowered the price of Emguerd so that it's able to enter India without the Indians paying too much tax. All right, so this is an amazing thing, right? Purchase is only for existing Enagic distributors and end users. All right. Purchase as end user, you're only allowed to buy 3 Emguerds per user. Okay. And the best thing, there's no set end date to this current promotion that's having for Indian market. But there is a downside, not really a downside to be honest. You're still earning commissions. The commission is 5,214 Indian rupees per point. All right, but this is because of the exchange rate and also the price being lowered for you guys to ship it in. Now, very simple. The process is very simple. You just have to fill up a special form. The special form will say India Special Promotion Edition Application Form. You make payment in ringgit currency to Enagic, Malaysia. All right. You send the application and payment details to GOC, India. They will check it and everything is okay. It gets shipped out to India, and in the Indian side, you need to pay the custom duties and GST if it's applicable. All right. Very quickly, some pointers. Status for every Emguerd purchase will renew your account for 3 months SP. Enroller is not allowed for Emguerd purchases. From 1A to 5A, every Emguerd sale is one sale count, one group sale count. But in the month of you ranking up to a 6A, so let's say this month, in the month of September, you're going to become 6A. All right. And for you to achieve that title bonus, you need to have 10 group sales minimum for you to get that 3,000 US dollars. And Emguerd will only count as half. So if you're only selling Emguerds, you need 20 Emguerds for you to achieve your title bonus. Yeah, do take that into note. Count for any incentive and bonuses is 0.5 unit as well for the 6A2 bonus, for the GFS bonus and everything beyond that. No educational bonus when you become 6A for Emguerd sales. And the dollar value for Emguerd in the system is 1480. Warranty period is 1 year from the date of purchase. all right? And there is a return policy if the package is new and not open, all right? Distributor will be responsible for returning the shipping charges. You have to pay for the return if you want to return it back to Malaysia. And this is the address for the Malaysian office. All right, so these are some information. You can take a screenshot of it, a photo of it, so that you guys have the information. I'll be changing the screen in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Very quickly, this is an event that's coming up in Malaysia in 27th and 28th of September, right? Some of you have perhaps already bought your tickets. Now, this event, guys, is super, super important. If you want all the clarity in the Enagic business and you want all the clarity about the Emguerd, I recommend that you make a trip to this event. All right, make it a team trip, come with your team members. I'm not going to tell too much about the event, but I'm going to say this. A lot of distributors that I know, like when they joined this event, they got converted. They were non-believers in the business. After this business, not only did they sign up, they were fired up. All right. I would not have joined the business without this event. Simon would not have joined this business without the event. And if you know this name called Xia Mingwei, he attended the event and he joined the business with his father. A lot of my downlines, I bring these prospects of mine to this event and they get converted to become a distributor underneath me. So I use this platform to grow my business. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts in the business. We're going to talk about the common mistakes distributors make in this business. We're going to give you basically a fast track into how to be efficient with this Enagic business so you achieve your rank fast. That's happening on the first day, called the Essential Enagic Workshop. Second day, Emguerd Summit. Guys, if you love the Emguerd and you want to share the Emguerd with everybody that you know, and you want bulletproof belief in the Emguerd, you need to attend the Emguerd Summit. There's going to be a lot of information. We're going to invite invited guests to come and speak, to share some research stuff relating to EMF radiation, the body, Emguerd. And you're going to hear about a lot of strategies on how successful distributors in the last 2 years have used Emguerd to grow their Enagic business. Yeah, so if you want to find out more, scan this QR code or go to www.fhptrainings.com. I'll type it in the chat for you. fhptrainings.com. All right, you can go there, you can take a look, see who are the speakers. You will recognize some faces there. All right. Malaysia is an amazing country. It is relatively inexpensive. All right. So it's come with your team members, plan something. It's happening literally in like 17 days. Don't have a lot of time, right? Now, very quickly, before I play, I'm going to play this video first, then I'm going to start answering your questions, all right? This is pretty much what happened the last event. Maybe some of your team members are also in this video, you never know, right? So take a look, guys. It's super, super easy.
If we want to be success, we must to commit to the business.
This training, when you come, you feel the power and the energy, and it's a consistent reminder that this business is not a business that you do alone. It is a business that, requires you to build a team and to have leadership qualities.
It's an energy, it's a connection, it's a community, and yeah, I mean, the number of people that I've met here from different corners of the world has been, I love to network. And I've probably met about 50 people here at least, and I expect to meet a lot more today.
Yes, after I attended EEW, I just realized that if you want to success in Energy, you have to attend at least once essential energetic workshop in your life.
Come to the workshop, don't come alone, and please make sure you come with lots and lots of people, all the people that you care for, and bring out notepads and write down as much note as possible. Be a student, be humble. That'll be my advice.
So yesterday's session, I come to know about the mistakes. I noted down the mistakes and what not to do and what to do in the energy business for successful journey. But when I attended this session, and the perception completely get changed. So if anyone want to boost their business, they must attend these EEWES sessions.
This is the only setting where you get more and more information with testimonials, with research, information and knowledge on Emguerd, number one. Number two, you get to interact and you get to network with energetic distributors from all across the world. So that makes this platform very unique.
All right, guys. So I hope you guys come for the event. I would really love to meet some of you, network with you, find out your life story. How did you join magic business? What was the thing that made you want to pursue this business? Because I really want to hear people's stories. I love to hear people's stories. Yeah. So if you do come for the event, you see me at the event, just say hi. All right. Now, some questions. Okay, Rebecca, is Emguerd considered half or a full point? I think I covered that already. 1A to 5A, 1 point, 1 group sale. And then in a month of you ranking up, half. But for any leader 6A2 and above, it is considered half a group sale. Yeah. Where can I get your slides? All right, you can get my slides from the Telegram group. All right, so that's where I got my slides. If you go in the archive file again, you would see it there. The latest one has already been posted up there. The only thing is that I took the slides and I did it in my own way so that I have my own flow on it. And I recommend you do the same. Yeah. Joy Island, good question. Why is it 200 and not 6A, for 6A, not 100? So for you to become 6A, there are two basic requirements. Number one is 101 group sale minimum. And you need also a 300,000 US dollar sale value. All right. So if you sell 100 A8s or 100 SDs, you will meet that sale value. But if you sell 100 Emguards, you are not there yet because you will only be at 148,000 US dollar sale value. That's why you need to sell 200. But this is speaking hypothetically if you only sell Emguard. So if you start selling Kangen machines with the Emguard, yes, that number will go down. What I do now is for every person that I introduce the Emguard, I always introduce the Kangen machine as well. So I sell it as a pair, a combo. Yeah. Do you have presentation for K8 machine? I do. So this one, again, if you have an upline or a team leader, you can request from them because I'm pretty sure it's the same anyway. Yeah. Can a user change to be a distributor and how, please? Very simple. Go and speak to the office, in your Energic office, whichever country you're from. there's probably going to be a small fee to pay. In Malaysia, it's 50 ringgit, about 10 something US dollars. But that is not to Enagic, it's just to an association somewhere in Malaysia, the Direct Selling Association of Malaysia, DSAM. All right. But yeah, you can. From a user, you can change to become a distributor. Just ask the office how. I think there's a form to fill up or something. If you start selling, you start your business with Emguerd, do you only get commission from Emguerd sales and others? No, you will get commissions from Kangen machines and everything. But bear this in mind. If you start with an Emguerd account, you sell Kangen machine, your commission is only 67%. You're going to miss 33% because your account is an Emguerd account. But the moment you buy a Kangen machine for yourself or an Ukon or Anaspa underneath your account, both of your accounts will become a full Kangen account. Yeah, and you will start receiving 100% commission on every sale all the way. Lena, technical question. I hope I can answer this. I was asked about EMF radiation from 5G towers. They're over 1 gigahertz, right? Are they harmful to the bodies? Short answer is yes. It is still harmful. Long answer is it is not as harmful as 30 to 300 megahertz. So the thing is, if you understand how frequencies work, the lower the frequency, the longer the wave. All right. If you think about it, radios, back many years ago, these radios that we use, they can travel, the signals can travel very, very far. All right. 5G, there was an issue with 5G, not because of the danger, but because for 5G to be viable in any country, governments and organizations had to build more signal towers. The reason for that is because 5G frequency waves is a lot shorter. So they needed to have more towers to be able to link these frequency waves, these boosters, as you will call them. So actually the problem was that there was more towers to be built. And with these towers being built, there was more EMF radiation being produced by these towers. But again, coming back to the FCC, the human body has a higher natural defense against frequencies above 1000 megahertz. All right. I'm not saying 5G is not dangerous. It is dangerous, but it's not very dangerous. Long-term exposure to 5G is not as detrimental to long-term exposure to frequency between 30 to 300 megahertz. So that's the short answer. That point about end users doesn't mean they're not becoming a distributor. Yeah, so if you register an account, all right, you actually have an option of choosing between an end user or a distributor account. You can tick. The difference is if there's a sale underneath the account and you're an end user, you don't get the commission. So may as well, every single person that you register, just register as a distributor. Full stop. Yeah, simple as that. Sanjay, thank you for your compliment. This recording is somewhere. I've been told to record these sessions, but I really don't know where the recordings go to. I will try to request for them. It's not my first time requesting for them, but I believe there are some of the recordings online on YouTube already, and I think on the Facebook page. Oh yeah, guys, the Facebook page. Emguerd to the world, please join. You will find a lot of Simon's presentations there. Simon is a better presenter than I am. He's much more knowledgeable about the Emguerd as well. He's my sponsor anyway, all right? So I learned from him. If you want to be a really good presenter in Emguerd, learn from Simon. That's my take. He is called the Demo Master for Emguerd. And he actually received an award from Enagic for it, yeah? Yes, Joy. So if you buy an Emguerd and you start with an Emguerd account, if you sell Emguerd, you sell any of the products, your commission is lower. So it's 65 US dollars per A if you sell an Emguerd. But if you have a Kangen account and you sell an Emguerd, you actually get 85 US dollars. Yeah, so yes, you're correct there. No, RD 9300 is no longer available. All right. It is it's Asian stock. So basically the manufacturers for RD 9000 and whatever, has already stopped producing these devices. Joy Island. Okay, so that part I've asked already. The answer is yes, but I heard there's going to be some changes to that. All right, so I'm telling you this information because that change hasn't came into play yet. But the answer is yes. You can only register existing distributors there. But do pay attention to what Enagic releases. Maybe you can ask, you can email Enagic India and request for any updates on that. Yeah. You're most welcome. Let me see. Huh. Hey, Angela. Yeah, this is my first time hearing about this Blue Shield thing. Probably quite new. I don't have an answer for you about this. Let me send this to the Emguerd research team and see what they say about it. For as far as I know, right? Currently, Emguerd has no competition because we have the certification and proof, science proof that it actually works. Yeah. But again, I don't have an answer for you. Let me go and send this to the team and see what they say. If they would join with K8 and Emguerd, would the best be to sell the Emguerd and start the ID underneath K8? No. Let me tell you a strategy real quickly. If they want to buy 2 accounts, 2 IDs, or sorry, two products, you get 2 accounts. Meaning, K8, Emguerd, sale. His first sale, he's going to make 2 A's. I hope you saw that. So that is something that also you can introduce. We call that, some people call it trifecta, quads, duo. It's a strategy that you can use. I'm not going to get into it in this conversation because it's something that you may need to talk to your leaders about. I'm sure they have the knowledge for it. But I would always say it is smart to not just have one account. Have multiple accounts. It will benefit you, but be strategic with them. Yeah, but I would say don't sell the Emguerd ID away. Keep it for yourself because you have 2 accounts there. Yeah. Just imagine this. 2 accounts, one is -4, one is -3. Both belongs to you. You're getting 15,000 US dollars. Yeah, strategy. All right, guys. So that's all I have for you guys. Concerning that question that I couldn't answer about Blue Shield, let me get back to you. I have no idea what it is. It's my first time hearing about it. So I can't give you an answer, but I will ask the Emguerd team to come up with an answer for it. Yeah. So thank you guys for your participation. I hope you guys see the value of promoting Emguerd right now. Emguerd is an amazing opportunity to grow your business because you're talking about a very reputable company with very solid products, long history, global footprint. It is literally the best start also because Emguerd is very new to the market. So you're getting brand new product, brand new technology, very solid company. Most likely, it's going to be the other way around. You're going to get new company, old product. Who wants that? Nobody. Yeah, so we have a very good opportunity right now. I'm losing my voice. I don't have the best throat at the moment. All right, so I'll end things here, guys. The next Zoom will be happening next week. Stay updated on the Telegram and the Facebook group to find out who will be speaking. And it's good, but it's going to be definitely the same time. All right. I wish you guys all the best, all the success in Enagic. Again, thank you for the questions. But I'm always happy to answer questions to my best of my knowledge. But again, guys, I'm just a distributor as well. I'm still learning. I'm still finding out new information. And it's because of you guys I'm also learning new things. All right. Take care. See you soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.